Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Birdland. You're in Hawk County. Back here again at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, watching Jammin with Jenks. I'm your host, Coach Jenkins. We have a special guest today, Coach Ernest Barrett. He's the head coach of our cross-country, indoor, and outdoor track teams here at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Coach Barrett, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here.
Now, something that I've realized over the course of past couple of months, getting ready to prepare for our conversation here, you are the longest tenured coach here at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. What made you want to stay and remain a part of the UMES family?
Yeah, I came here in 1999, and once I got here, the facilities was one of the main attraction for me here. We're the only institution in the conference, and probably the only public institution in the state of Maryland that have an indoor track. That's one of the main things out here. Also, the Eastern Shore is a beautiful place. I mean, I have two beautiful daughters, Tejan and Kristen. And I think the Eastern Shore is a great place to grow your kids up. So I'm really excited about being on the Eastern Shore and the family atmosphere that the university provides here to me. And I feel welcome and comfortable here. So we have made Eastern Shore our home. And, you know, even though I grew up in Kingston, I actually went to a prep school in the country.
Okay.
When I was growing up.
Okay.
So I like the country environment. So that's one reason why I'm still here. And not to mention the beach.
The beach is always wonderful.
The beach is always a plus, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about you. You mentioned, running track here in the States. You've had a successful track career at your alma mater, George Mason. Tell us about the recruiting process and how you ended up running for the Patriots.
I'll tell you this. I say I grew up in Jamaica. Went to a prep school in the country. We had an outstanding track and field program when I was in high school. I had some great coaches. And we always came to the pen relays.
Okay.
The pen relays was a big jump off for Jamaican athletes that want to get the opportunity to come to America.
Okay.
And I was one of the first young men from Jamaica who spit a 150 point in high school. Okay. And so a lot of school come running, and they wanted my talent.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I chose to go to George Mason was I had one of my countrymen, Dalton Eubanks. He was an assistant coach there.
Okay.
And so looking at what the school had done with middle distance runners, with Abdi Beely being a world champion in 1987, and we had some outstanding athletes there, I chose to go to George Mason.
All right. Now, after your collegiate career, did you run professionally after that?
I tell you, when I was running track, we're talking about 1990s. After I graduated in 1990, there wasn't much money in track and field. I didn't remember, we had a professional schedule to run. There was like 3 meets on the schedule for us to compete, and I did compete in a professional meet. Went over to Puerto Rico. They gave us per diem to come and everything, and was competing in the race. I tell you, I ran the 800 meter.
Okay.
And I tell this story, and it's a fact. I was running this 800 meter, and they were giving out a prize money. I think at the time it was like $3,500 for first place. Second place was like $1,500. Third place was like $500. And I never forget running this race. And the first 400 meters, I put myself in position. And I'm going down the back stretch, and I make my move toward 200 meters. And as I approach the 600 meter, I was leading the race. And I start thinking in the back of my mind, $3,500. $3,500. As I come off the turn, I was still leading. And I start thinking $3,500. And one guy passed me. I said $1,500. And I was dipping at the line for $500. After that, I said, man, I can't do this thing, man. I mean, we had a couple more meets to run, and the coach was kind of mad that I decided I want to go get a job, man. I just couldn't run for money professionally, and there wasn't a lot of money in track and field then. No, maybe, if there was a lot of money, I would have stick with it. Plus, I was an international student too, and I didn't have a lot of family here to take care of me, so I had to take care of myself.
Right.
And, my choice was to rather go out and try and find a job and take care of myself. So that's how my professional career ended.
Okay, okay.
in track and field.
Hey, it's very difficult if you're hungry to
If you're
continue
hungry, exactly, it
continue
is very
with your
difficult.
job.
Yes, yes.
I understand completely. Now tell us, when did you decide that you wanted to be a coach in your sport?
I tell you this, somehow I got this philosophy that being a coach is like a calling for me. I had never ever had this dream of being a coach.
Okay.
I've had great coaches. I've had some of the best coaches in the world. You know, I was working corporate America after I graduated college. I worked with some government contracts in Rockville, and my degree is in community health and communication. And I was working on a government contract with National Institute of Health, and at the time, I got a call from one of my mentors, one of my Coach Banks, and he said, "Hey, there's a high school over here that needs a coach. I know that you can help them." And I went in and I volunteered, and I started working with Falls Church High School. And as I get there, I start realizing, hey, I can do this thing. You know. Interestingly, he was the same guy that said to me, "There's a assistant coaching position open up at Coppin State." At the time, I was trying to balance coaching and working a corporate job, and I transitioned from Fairfax County to Silver Spring, Maryland, where I moved to when I came to Maryland. And when I went up and I interviewed for the job with Donald Webster, he was the head coach at the time at Coppin State. He said, "You have a good resume. You did well as an athlete, and you should think about doing this." I said, "I don't know. I'm gonna try this." So coaching kind of became a thing that I wanted to try for a while, and then after Coach Webster left Coppin State, he had left Coppin State in a quick moment, and I was left coaching the program for one semester part time by myself. And I did such a great job with the program that the athletic director at the time said, "Hey, the position is going to be open." Coach Webster had turned in his resignation. "We would like for you to stay on and coach the program full time." I say, "All right, I'll think about doing it." Needless to say, I spent 5 more years at Coppin State as a head coach, and it's kind of like I say, it was kind of a, it's like this career kind of calls you. You know,
Yes.
I never had this dream I'm going to be this coach, and I guess coaching for me just became natural.
Okay.
That's pretty much how I end up being a coach.
And you talked a little bit about Coach Eubanks, who I'm sure is a role model, somebody you
Oh,
looked up to
certainly,
day
yeah,
to day.
Dalton Ebanks, yes.
Is there any other individuals who role models for you, or was it just basically Coach Eubanks working as you was coming up in the profession?
Well, with regards to coaches, my high school coach
Mm-hmm.
is deceased now. Coach Constantine Horton. He was a
Okay.
great coach. Ever since I was a young man, one thing he always said was academic come first. He always taught me that, and that became a part of my fabric. But he was a good role model for me in high school. He was one of the few coaches that had a bachelor's degree at that time. We're talking about early 70s,
Okay.
80s, late 70s, 80s, and he always say one day you gotta go to university. It wasn't just about running for him; it was about education. So that was one of my first role models as a coach. My college coach, who is a world class coach, John Cook. John
Okay.
Cook was also a role model for me. But the biggest role model for me in my life was my mom and dad.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
They always taught me to put Jesus first, put
Mm-hmm.
Christ first. They always taught me that hard work is the key to success. Anything you want, you gotta work for it. Nobody gives you anything. And so yeah, it started at home with having a mom and dad there that gave me love and gave us, uh, what we need every day, in Jamaica.
And talking about your mom and dad, talk to us a little bit about growing up in Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, growing up in Kingston, I tell you this, man. It's not like now. You
Okay.
know, when I grew up in Kingston, it, it was a great time. You
Okay.
know, it's not like now. Kingston is a little bit different from when I was growing up. I grew up in the suburbs of Kingston, which is St. Andrew,
Okay.
right outside we call it Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was fun time. I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of stuff to do as a boy growing up. We went hunting for birds. You know, we played soccer on the street until lights go out.
Okay.
Played basketball. We raced every day on the
Okay.
streets. You know, foot races and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, and so I had a good life growing up, and especially if you have mom and dad that give you love. You know,
That's what's
Yeah.
most important.
Exactly.
Right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. When is it that you realize, okay, running is what I want to do?
I tell you, my first sport was soccer.
Okay.
I played soccer in what we call all-age school. All-age school is a mixture of elementary school and middle school mixed up together in the Caribbean. It's a British style education, and I was playing soccer, and we won what we call a national title. My middle school had won a national title. The all-age school had won a national title, and so every guy in the school was wanted to do sports. So when soccer season was done, we went out and we ran track. And my brother, my one of my oldest brother, I got five brothers.
Okay.
The one closest to me in age, he said, "Man, you should run track." Um, and we had a guy on my team. His name was Sean Hines. He used to beat everybody. He was the fastest guy on the team. And so my brother says, "Man, every evening we're gonna train and you're gonna beat that guy, man." Okay. So we would come home in the evening and he would give me extra workouts. My brother is also incidentally a basketball coach in Jamaica. He's one of the best basketball juvenile coaches in Jamaica.
Okay.
He coached the national juvenile team. And he's the type of guy that would give you, all right, you got 50 push-ups. And when you get to 50, you say, "You got to give me one more, man. You can give me one more." You know, so my brother was also a role model for me.
Okay.
And he's the one that got me started in running track.
Okay.
And so such was my track career.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. You're watching Jammin with Jenks at University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
And coming off of your cross country championship on the men again, women finishing in third place. Talk a little bit about the transition from cross country to indoor track. Is it very challenging going from cross country to indoor?
Well, the distant runners, it's just a flow over from cross country anyway. They're gonna run the distant races inside.
Okay.
We are not in a rush, say in December, to run world class time.
Okay.
We have until February.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the transition is not a hard transition. With regards to the cross country guys, they're still running mileage. They're still putting in mileage.
Okay.
We just get to come inside and sharpen them up on the Tuesdays and Thursdays when we do the interval workouts. So it's not a tough transition from cross country to indoor. It certainly isn't.
Now, for somebody who's not knowledgeable about cross country or track, I should say, I did run it in high school, and there's one thing I can say. I've said it many times. I have a lot of respect for runners. This is a sport you have to love to do.
Yes.
So the transition from cross country to indoor and outdoor, there really isn't much of a transition as far as.
No, it's a smooth transition. The only thing you gotta worry about when you come inside with distant runners is the overuse injuries, the shin splints and stuff like that, because you're moving from a grass surface to a harder surface indoor. But it's actually a mental thing, really.
Okay.
You give them a easy week off, and then they transition mentally. But physically, they are capable to make the transition.
Coach, describe your team for us, your track teams for us, your indoor track team. What is the characteristic of your team, the makeup of them?
Wow. Track and field is one of those sports that what I call is, let me think here, split personalities.
Okay.
You got your throwers, you got your sprinters, you got your jumpers, you get your distant runners. Every single one of these people, they have different personality.
Okay.
You know, as a coach, the main thing you gotta learn how to be is to be patient and be flexible. Gotta be patient and be flexible. And knowing that these people are also taking care of academics. And then for some of them, if they're international kids, they're in a new environment, new country, new food, stuff like that. But unlike most sports, in track and field is personality-wise, you got the guy that's, the pole vaulter guy. Those are the crazy guys. They gotta jump, over 17 feet in the pole. They kind of think on a different level. Distant runners are a little bit more self-motivated. They're the cool guys. They go for the runs and stuff like that. The sprinters, they're always aggressive, looking like they're ready to fight. Those type of guys. And with the personalities come intelligence too, because the throwers are always smart guys. Distant guys are always smart guys. Not that I say that sprinters aren't, but you have somewhat different personalities that you gotta deal with based on what event people run.
Okay. Yeah. And you have to learn how to stroke those egos and everything.
That's right, exactly. You have to know when to fall, like the man say. Know when to walk away. Know when to run.
One thing I've learned about watching sprinters, they are very confident in their abilities.
Gotta be. You gotta be confident. If you're not confident, man, the race finishes in 10 seconds, man. You better have some confidence to be able to go on that track and get there fast,
I hear that.
Yes.
Is there anything that you want the audience to know, something about your teams that we don't know or that we wouldn't see by watching practice and things like that?
Wow, that's an interesting question. Wow. Oh, man. What do they do outside of running track? They just run track.
Like I said, you have to love it to do it.
You have to love it to do it. But when it comes on the community service, we try to do some community service as much as possible. We used to do a program called Leaders that Read. We used to bring in young kids from elementary school, and we have a break a lunch with them and read to them, elementary school kids. We have a couple of programs that we used to do, and I'm trying to implement it back. We used to do this thing called Toys for Tots. We used to work with the Marine Corps, and we collect toys at Christmas time for them to give to kids. And I want to go on record to say that the track and field program here was the first one that did Relay for Life.
Right. Okay.
For cancer. Relay Life for cancer. The track team love to give. And when we have our home track meets, they are there to help mentor the young people that come. It's not just a track meet we have. Okay. They come, and the young people, if they want to learn about the university, they are very good stewards of this university. They go and represent the school very well. We host 2 high school indoor track meets every year. It just happened that most people are out when we're hosting the meet. It's usually in January, over the holidays and stuff like that. So we get probably about 300 to 400 kids on campus. And the track team does a great job, still in this institution, on a consistent basis when them kids come.
And Relay for Life is a program that the whole athletic department has participated in for the past few years.
And they're always excited to do that all the time.
It's good. Yeah. Thank you for starting that program for us there. Really appreciate that. We do. We look forward to being out there for that one particular day. It's for a great cause.
That's right. And that's close to my heart. My dad passed from cancer, so
I'm sorry to hear that. I've had relatives that passed away also. Exactly. So I think that disease has affected a lot of families. Yep. Exactly. Coach Barrett, I really, really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to speak with us. I've never shared this with you, but I've learned so much from our offices being near each other, just listening to you, hearing you, whether you're recruiting or motivating your student athletes or, challenging them. I truly learned so much from you, and I want you to know that. I never shared that with you before, but today I really want you to understand and know that I've learned a lot from you. Thank you for being with us today on the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I'm your host, Cedric Jenkins. Again, we always appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be with us. On behalf of Doug Newton and Tyler Smith, please join us next time. We'll have another special guest for you. And remember, a calm sea doesn't make a skilled sailor. Thank you again. See you next time.